Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion and our first of 3 Star Wars Celebration recap episode. I hope we can make it to 3 straight days. We'll see how it goes today and tomorrow. But thank you everyone that joined us. Let's join us today or whenever you get a chance to watch this. Oti, wait, I'm your host. I'm Talking. That's our co-host over there, Oti. We survived day 1. Oti, how you doing? It's been a couple of weeks since we've done the show in preparation for Star Wars Celebration. How are you doing today?
After a long while, Star Wars is in the air.
Dude, I'll say I was gonna wait till later, but this is, I think, the first celebration that I've been able to watch basically the whole live stream from beginning to
You
end.
had never done it?
So last time in London or Europe, it was during the day, which was better, but I didn't have the day off. I was either driving my kids to school or I was home working. So it's kind of, okay, I watched this panel, they gotta stop, I'm gonna do something. It was in and out, in and out. This is the first one that since 9 in the morning, 9 at night, when people started reposting or live posting the Mandalorian Grogu panel, all the way till about 3:30 in the morning, I was able to make it.
Good.
So I felt it, even if I wasn't there, and maybe
Hello, everyone.
we didn't get all the big Lucasfilm showcase, so we'll talk about all that. But it didn't matter. I felt like I was there. How was, in general, this experience for you?
So it's interesting you say that because I'm always the champion of the live feed, of the live stream. Like every time everyone's like, we didn't get the trailer, we didn't see this, we didn't see that. I love the live stream because we see so many random things. And yes, like this time they're doing this thing that I think they've done before, but I don't think was the norm, where we're getting the panels like an hour after they finish.
Yeah.
Like they finish and then it starts. It's like, so for example, the publishing one, that's when I told you I fell asleep. It has nothing to do with the panel. I had woken up at 5 a.m. in the morning, so I did not last the entire night. This today will be different. That one I had already seen all the everything when it came out. So, but it's still fun to see. And even though we don't get the big panel like the Mando and Grogu, they always do this thing. Like after that panel ends, the same people walk out into the stream stage and they talk about what they just talked about, and they sometimes even give us a little bit more. So that's always cool. And I love the random things we see. Like that, you see the Star Wars Jadro, like that. Did you not see that part?
What is that? I don't know what a Jadro is.
Okay, so Jadro is like these porcelain sculptures.
Yes, I love the Darth Vader one.
Yeah, the white one. Oh, it's amazing. So I love every time they show us things like that. And I always go to extremes. Like, but sometimes you see this guy who's been doing Star Wars models with Q-tips for 30 years, and
the chef
doing the
6 hours doing little things for all the guests.
So again, it's so fun, and yes, you're not there, you're not feeling the energy, and being there has to be like a completely different experience, but it's something. And the fact that it lasts 6 hours, it's not like just an hour sizzle reel. Like you get to feel it, and I don't know, I love it. I really love it. I'm sorry, I've done it since 2016 in Rogue One, and it's been so fun.
I understand why people want to see the big live streams and the big panels. But we've talked about this before. If by this point you're expecting something different, I think that's on you. Especially knowing that after a couple of... Give me 1 second. I gotta take care of something. I'll be right back. Sorry. My kid is at a birthday party and he just texted me. So
I'll take over.
All right. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to talk about while Alberto is gone. But I'll echo what he was saying. I've been someone who's been doing this since I was 6 years old. No, I've been doing it since the one for Rogue One. I think it was London also, and it follows a very similar formula, very similar beats every single time. I think at this point, and again, like they don't have to tailor the live stream for me, but for someone who's seen like 9 years of this, basically, it gets a little bit repetitive. We're seeing a lot of the same hosts, who, by the way, do a great job keeping the crowd excited, keeping the live feed alive. It rarely turns into a dud of just like looking at the celebration floor and seeing people walk out. There's always something going on. And they do a great job, again, just keeping everything moving. But like for someone who's seen it for so long, like I was starting to see some of the same jokes, some of the same things going on.
All right,
Oh, there he
I'm
is.
back. Sorry, I missed
Okay.
everything you said about.
No, I was just saying, like I love the crew that runs the
Yeah,
live stream, but as someone who's seen like six or seven of these already, it's getting a little bit old for me because it's a lot of the same jokes, a lot of
yeah.
the same beats. Like I'm still waiting for Anthony Carboni to fight with Anthony Daniels. That'll probably happen today or
Yeah.
tomorrow.
So I'll be honest. And maybe it's the same thing that I've seen the same people for, at least for myself, for 3 straight celebrations. I kind of enjoyed the other two hosts a little bit more because they were different. I don't know.
Yeah.
They had a different vibe to it.
Yeah. I'm
Nothing against Anthony
No.
and Kristen. They're great.
What I was saying is
Understand.
they do a great job keeping it
Yeah.
alive and keeping it moving. And again, their main job is to animate the floor
Yeah.
of Star Wars Celebration, not entertaining me. So I think they do a good enough job balancing that job of catering to the people at home, catering to the people there. But I would like to see something different because it's a lot of the same jokes, a lot of the same beats. So but that's just me. They do a very good job. So it has nothing to do with them.
So real quick before we officially start, what I was saying was, it doesn't matter if we get the big panels, like you said, because 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, Sean Levi's there with Ryan Gosling giving you the big news, and Kathleen Kennedy is coming out, and Dave Filoni's there, like, they're coming out, just wait 20 minutes. Yeah, we won't see that trailer. Just go on Twitter and get a potato camera. But we get all that information anyways, and if you're a nerd, I guess, like us, that's watching everyone live tweet everything, you feel like you're part of it. And like you said, to me, what I also love was the Lego panel when they were out showing the different Legos. I love that K2SO, the giant one, of course, but the regular size was like 12 inches. I love that one. So that little 10-minute section was great.
By the way, did you notice that the first people they interviewed were Puerto Rican?
No, I saw a Puerto Rican flag in the crowd, but I didn't see.
The first group of people they went to after Hayden walked out, who was the first guest, were a group of Puerto Rican. It was funny because we know of Puerto Ricans that are there, but not the ones that we know of. So it's like there's always a Puerto Rican somewhere.
So, with the guy waving the flag, I just show me who that is. I might know who them. But
by the way, he was dressed as Jar Jar Binks, but as Ahmed Best on set as Jar Jar Binks with the visor
and the big head.
Yeah.
If you're joining us live, thanks for being here. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss all the new episodes when they drop. Again, we're going to have a new episode tomorrow at our regular time at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then also on Sunday, and then hopefully every weekend after that, but we'll see how things go. If you're listening to us for the first time, again, subscribe. Leave us a comment down below if you have any questions or anything you want us to discuss. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, thank you, and give us a 5-star rating and review. Oti, who's out there in the chat today?
So we have Brennan in the chat. Hello there, gentlemen. I'm having a blast following along with the news from Star Wars Celebration Tokyo. I'm sad I can't be there, but I am just enjoying being part of this great fandom. I 100% agree. Buck is in the chat. I'll get to him
Buck.
right away. Benji saying, hi there. Haven't been able to catch one of these live until now. Awesome. Thank you for being
welcome,
here.
Benji.
Maybe you're talking about Star Wars Celebration live feed. Awesome. And we have Buck. Buck said, hola. And now he's saying, I love the live stream. What they give us is amazing, but not showing the trailers and footage sucks. I get not showing the episodes. That's fine. Yeah, I'm kind of in that line. I always think about that 2019 celebration when they showed Mando footage, and everyone who was there were like, it really was so unfinished. Like, I get why they didn't show it. So we saw the Mando trailer. We don't know
Yeah.
if it looks unfinished or not because it was like a very bad footage.
Raw,
but
yeah.
at least it gave us an idea. We'll get to that at some point. But
It looked pretty good.
I agree. By the way, I think I've always been the guy who's like they market it when they market it.
Yeah.
But like I think, I hope they are aware that Star Wars is coming back to a very different movie market than they left last time with Rise of Skywalker. So I think they should start promoting this movie like now. And
I was surprised when they said that Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver were gonna be in GMA the next morning, like this morning. I like 100% they're gonna show something at GMA. Like, I mean, nothing. It's just, hey, they were there for 5 minutes. Again, it's like 3 a.m. at this point. So I was surprised that we didn't get anything at that point. And even though I think we're a little bit early, I agree what you said last time, that if we go back to The Force Awakens, which was a 10-year gap, now we're going to be in a 7-year gap. And that first teaser came out 13 months earlier, exactly like right now.
I really
thought they were going to give us something.
I really hope we get a trailer, like, I don't know, like before August or something. I don't know. We'll see.
That weekend is not over. We'll see what else happens.
I don't get your hopes up. Like, I'm not expecting it to drop this week, but like maybe by the end of the summer or something. Yeah. I think that would be a good idea.
Maybe what's next? Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. If you have Pedro Pascal and Fantastic Four, and then you put Mando trailer there, we'll give you a double bill of Mando.
Yeah.
I finished Star Wars Wayseeker, Oti. I know it's not Star Wars Celebrations, but I finally finished.
Oh, the book that you like?
I finished the book. It's pretty good. My review on Embargo drops on Monday, so I won't say too much. But if you enjoy those characters, I think you will enjoy this book.
Okay. I enjoy those characters, so.
Yeah. I need to start Into the Light. Haven't started.
Oh, yet. I got it, actually. But I need to read the other one.
The other two? All right. At some point, we'll have a... When everything ends with the High Republic, we need to have a big panel with like 3 or 4 guests just to cover the whole 3 phases.
But, a round table.
Yeah, probably in December when you're done reading everything. All right, so if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars, and it is Star Wars news.
Star Wars news.
Okay, everyone, before we officially jump into all the big news and reveals from Celebration, Oti, I wanted, right now it doesn't matter because Celebration is here already, so my endorphins basically for Star Wars are an all-time high. But I was surprised, and did it bother you, like 2 weeks ago and then last week, they started revealing stuff like that Tales on the Underworld with Ventress and Cat Bane was revealed 2 weeks ago. Then the Master of Evil book by Adam Christopher was revealed last week. The ROTS novelization 20-year anniversary reprint was announced last week. Couldn't they just wait? I was a little bit bummed. Right now, it doesn't matter. But I was a couple of weeks ago.
Only one of them, I think it was the Master of Evil. I think that leaked before, and I think they fucking just announced
the title leaked.
Right, because of an Amazon posting or something.
Yeah.
Like and I remember Christopher was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, I gotta do something.
So, yeah, whatever. I agree. Like, it's weird having and they've been able to surprise us. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Maybe it has to do that we went in with 0 expectations, and so. But I also think they've learned lessons. I remember that 2016 one, they announced nothing, and it was like so weird, like really, like so. But yeah, I think it's kind of a missed opportunity. Like, could you imagine walking out this week like, oh, there's a Darth Vader book by Adam Christopher,
and that cover, man, that cover for the first time.
I love the title. Yeah. So yeah, but whatever. Like,
it is. Right now, it doesn't matter. Just give me all the news. It was fine. All right, so let's officially go into day 1 of Star Wars Celebration 2025. Oti, last time we had an episode here, you said we talked about that. We wanted to have our minds blown. We wanted to be surprised. I know it's only the first day, but where are you in that point? Is your mind blown with some of the surprises? Are you okay with what we're getting so far?
No, dude, I'm super happy. The Starfighter announcement was
Yeah.
super random because I was playing The Last of Us, waiting for the live stream to start, and I completely forgot that there was a panel ongoing, so there were news coming out.
Yeah.
And Tony texted me like, "Oh, they announced the Starfighter date," and I was like, "What the fuck are you? What's Starfighter? Is it like a DC Comics movie?" And Tony was like, "No, Star Wars Starfighter." I was like, "Is that a game?" He's like, "No, the Sean Levi movie." I was like, "Wait, what?" So then I went to Twitter and I saw the live stream started early, and that's when I started to get like every information that had come out. Rada the Hut apparently is a thing now.
We'll get to that in a second.
I know, but like they've been able to surprise me.
Yeah, I was the other way. I was just watching people repost everything, and for some reason I went to Twitter to see if there was anything else, and I saw that you posted a picture of Hayden Christensen in the live panel or in the live live stage. I'm like, wait, is that from last time or is that new? Because I thought the live stream was starting at 10, so I missed the first kind of 5 minutes of that interview. But yeah, when Kathleen Kennedy came out, when I saw the post saying Kathleen Kennedy's here, I'm like, okay, we don't need to worry about no Lucasfilm panel. She's here. She's going to reveal something. With something we talked about. If she's there, something's going to be said regarding the movies. And she confirmed again, movies in development, the Mango movie, the Obi Chinoy, Taika Waititi, gotta mention again, Filoni, the Kimberg trilogy, and of course, Sean Levi. Start shooting in the fall. It's not in development, it's in pre-production. They made a point of sticking that needle there that we're doing this, we're starting shooting. Ryan Gosling came out, and as you just said, Star Wars Starfighter. They reveal a title for a movie that comes out in 2.5 years.
Good.
Which never happens.
Good.
Yeah, good, great. Why wait?
Can I just say I called it? I said here that Kathleen Kennedy would probably walk out at the end of this panel and announce a couple of things. So yes.
Yeah, I thought it was they were gonna let Filoni do it, but yeah, as soon as she came out,
she's still the boss, man. She's still the boss.
She is, and I appreciate
the fearless leader.
Whenever, and we talked about it, but whenever she decides to retire, and yes, there have been bumps along the road, and some people say that there were big bumps. And I mean, if you've been a president of a company for over a decade, it's going to happen. But in general, if you go year by year, everything we've gotten, the Hall of Fame career just with Lucasfilm.
I was talking again. I did my show like a couple hours ago.
Right.
And I was telling Tony that there's something about Kathleen Kennedy that I really like, and I think it's something that people don't like. And she's a fan of the movie process. She is not I don't think she cares about who's having what lightsaber and what chip did what and the canon connections.
You don't think that Darth Talon might be the apprentice of the Maul?
I just think she cares that the story fits into the Star Wars blueprint story, I guess, and that it's good and that the best talent is attached to it. Yeah. And I like that about her. I like that that's her main concern. And then she walks and I like that she doesn't pretend. She doesn't come out and be like, oh, yes, I've been wondering about what's Ahsoka been doing for the last 10 years. Oh, she doesn't care. She probably forgets how to pronounce that name anyways. Probably not. And that's something that we know.
She probably says Marquis Onro instead of Marquis.
Yeah, that's something that we know. You know, she said it herself. The end is near, and that's something I'm gonna miss about her. I'm pretty sure the next person we have is gonna be a diehard fan, and that dynamic is gonna be super different. But there's something about that I think gives her authority. And I was telling Tony, there's a couple of people that when they come out that stage, like everything stops and it's about them. And, she'll get the hate she gets. Whenever she walks out, everyone stops because it's freaking Kathleen Kennedy and she has something to say. Yeah.
I mean, she deserves to be there and command the stage. Whenever
she's our boss. She's everyone's boss.
It's Star Wars. Her name goes right after it. But yeah, I'm extremely surprised. I'm happy that they brought Sean Levi there. I'm happy that Ryan Gosling was there. It wasn't just a video. I know we joked about people from the sequel trilogy being Paul Dameron coming out. But if this is the next movie, and I'm sure you're extremely happy that this is coming out for the 50th anniversary in 2027.
I don't
again,
care if it's good or not. I just need something to come out.
I wonder if they'll do like a special like Star Wars marquee or something when the movie starts. Just I don't know, 50 years of Star Wars just to get something new.
Yeah, I mean, they have to.
Yeah,
they have to.
And I guess they are the people that made the movie, so they're gonna talk good about it. But I'm glad that they also, when Ryan Gosling and Sean Levi went to the interview stage, that they talked about the script. I think Kathleen Kennedy also mentioned this is because of the script is great. It's got heart, adventure, great new characters. 5 to 6 years after the events of Episode 9, we're in a different time place in terms of, I guess, the New Republic and whatever happened with the First Order. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I took some notes about the whole thing, and
you take
2 words.
Okay.
Yeah, I took notes. 2 things that stood out to me. 2 words.
Fancy tablet.
New and fun.
Yeah.
He said new adventures, new characters, new ships, and yeah, is Rey showing up? Maybe. But I'm excited. I'm excited for what they have. And dude, something I love. Whenever we get these new creators in Star Wars announce things there, it's like their first time at Star Wars Celebration. Yeah. There's always like this initiation process. They look shy. Like Ryan Gosling felt like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there with his hat and being like, I'm excited to be here. And it's going to be super fun probably in 2 years from now when he returns to Star Wars Celebration to promote his movie.
Yeah.
He'll probably be one of the commanding forces in that stage.
Yeah.
That's going to be super fun to see that transition.
Yeah, he'll be like the Pedro Pascales now, that's walking out, doesn't care. He's having his relationship with Dave Filoni is so great, making fun of each other. He'll be there in a couple of years. Which, again, he might be the biggest movie star in the planet. It's a different beast walking into a room with 10,000
bunch of nerds.
Yeah, that know everything about this new world you're jumping in. And you have the shits when you're a kid. I also did. If I walk into a panel there, I mean, again, props to Maggie. It's a great friend of ours, has been on the show, and she got a chance to do that. I wouldn't be able to speak for 20 minutes if I'm up there, but it's great. I mean, we talked about Ryan Gosling. We're both big fans of him. He's on a high right now. He can do a serious comedy, drama, musicals. So when they talk about being fun and new characters and all this, I think he's the perfect guy for whatever character he plays. I think he's perfect for it.
Yeah.
Who's out there? I see a couple of comments out there. Anything new?
Yeah. Buck mentions that he loves that the Taika Waititi movie is still apparently happening. Me too. Like it's like twice this year that she has mentioned it. So awesome. Someone asked her about the Ryan movie. Let's see what she says. Like, maybe she'll be like, nope, it's still happening. He's still thinking about it. Let's see. Oh, and the other thing, we have the 2 med to
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Yep. So they're saying they always give us a little bit of info before Celebration to get us started talking about the announcements beforehand. I'm fine if they do that as long as they don't come to Celebration empty-handed, and they didn't. Like they've still been able to surprise us.
Yeah, I know. When I don't want to say complain, but when I posted something about really they're announcing the Tales from the Underworld already, and someone said, "Hey, don't worry, that this means something bigger is coming." We did get something. We got that second animated show. We'll jump into that in a minute.
No.
But then the big panel, the first one, was the Mandalorian and Grogu panel. This movie's coming out in about a year, basically. A little bit of more information. Sigourney Weaver is there playing Rebellion, or New Republic, pilot. Look at it with the BD droids. And she looks great in the X-Wing pilot. If you had a chance to look at the potato camera, if you were there in person, she's not just a pilot. It looks like she has more authority.
Yeah.
In the New Republic.
He's kind of filling that Carson Teva.
Yeah.
Hole. And again, it's weird. You have Helen Ripley coming in to replace Apollo Creed in a way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But she's one that was a little bit different than Ryan Gosling when she came out. She's like, I don't know what's happening, but I love it. like,
but she's someone that is used to this. Like,
yeah.
if she walks into a Comic Con, she's not Sigourney Weaver. She's Helen Ripley, the badass, the biggest final girl to ever final girl, probably.
Yeah.
And again, I love this whole thing of bringing 80 stars into Star Wars. And by the way, with her, it goes even deeper. This is whole thing in Hollywood with middle-aged women and older actress that don't get as many roles. So having her come in and be calling the shots for Mando and being an X-Wing pilot, apparently, like, cool, like, awesome.
Yeah, which is something she pointed out when she was there with Favreau. Like, I'm saying how happy she was that he thought of her, called her for this role because of those issues that you just mentioned, and she's gonna crush it. We know she's going to. And the little bitty droids are now everywhere. And Seb, we got confirmation that Seb is back. He looks great here. I'm gonna say that.
Not used to it.
Phone picture that they took of the screen still looks great.
That's a pretty good shot, though.
I don't know who took this picture.
And R5 is there.
R5 is there.
Is that R5 or R4? No, that's R5. R4 is
whoever it is. Got an extra walker in the background, Grogu. There's some BD droids, I think, in the little corner over there. But Seb looks great. I'll say he looks great. And we got, I don't have a picture for it, and I think it's not a movie still. I think just a promotional picture of Pedro Pascal in the armor without the helmet. And in the interview, I think he's gonna be in it. I think we're gonna get him without the helmet in a couple of scenes. Do you think we're gonna get him? Because everyone was saying, oh, he has, of course, The Last of Us plus shooting Fantastic Four at the same time. He won't be able to be there on the set for Mando and Grogu. I think he made time. I think they found him. They flew to California and shot a couple of things with him.
I think he'll be in the movie a lot.
Yeah.
I really think he'll be in the movie a lot. Like, again, I hate this rhetoric. Like, this is Star Wars. And he said it himself. He's like, I signed into The Mandalorian. I'm excited to be in the show. What I really wanted to do was a Star Wars movie. Like,
yeah.
Like, I have no doubt that he'll be in it quite a lot.
But I also love that he gave props to the other two actors, to Lateef Crowder and to Brendan Wayne. It wasn't one of the first things that he said, and he talked about it a couple of times. But yeah, he mentioned about being back into it, how much he loves not the control, but that he's involved in so much of the process. Like, a lot of times you're hired, say your lines, act here, and they're done. But he's involved. He has been involved in a lot of the Mandalorian process since the beginning. So it's great for him to go all the way, like to mention that now end up on a Star Wars movie coming to a big screen. But I know what you want to talk about, and what everyone wants to talk about is this massive unit of a guy, Rota the Hutt, the buff Hutt, as you can see him there in this gladiator pit. I said I'm not a fan of Rota the Hutt coming back. Some of the rumors out there are not my favorite. But dude, look at that.
I mean, looking at that, I was like, yeah, okay.
I'll take it. I'll eat humble pie or whatever if we get that buff Hutt there.
And we kind of hear his voice a little bit. No, it wasn't like that. It was Jeremy Allen White. Like,
I didn't hear it. I couldn't hear it.
Listen to the video I sent you. You can kind of hear it.
You mind Din Djarin having a face fight with that guy?
No. I don't.
Oh man! So it's one, just like you mentioned for the Sean Levi movie. It's fun. I think this is gonna be a very fun movie, and I think it doesn't need to make $1 billion. I think it's gonna be a fun hour and 45 minutes or 2 hours of just having fun with Mando and Grogu and a giant ripped Hutt. I'm talking about movies because one of the things that people have been a little bit concerned was that, they took season 4 The Mandalorian and then they just made it a movie. It's not gonna be great. Same thing happened with Moana 2. It's gonna be a series. They make a movie. They don't have enough stories to make a series. But then they feel, Favreau came out and said, when you make a movie, you have 2.5 years to do this. It's not like when you're making a show, you got your notes. Okay. Having more time to develop the movie, bigger sets, more time to refine the costume, puppets, CGI, IMAX screen. It's not a TV movie, it's a cinematic experience. Kind of calm everyone. Like, yeah, we're not rushing this. Calm down. You're about to see a great Star Wars movie in the theaters. That brought a smile to my face.
He said, I wrote down more time equals more sets, IMAX aspect ratio, more practical effects. So yeah. And again, I'll mention. I know you're not gonna show it, but the potato camera footage we saw looks awesome.
Yeah,
like, looks freaking awesome. Like that whole one shot hallway sequence. Like think about Daredevil hallway sequence.
Yeah,
it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in Star Wars.
It is, and it's same as that phone picture we just saw with Seb. Yeah, it's bad quality, the potato camera, but it gets the theme across of what's happening. It looked great. Just going through that AT-AT, which I didn't for some reason think was going to be that big. You're just taking out like 12 stormtroopers or snowtroopers there.
Tony was telling me like that's the first time we've seen the inside of an AT-AT in a live action. Oh, cool!
It looked great. And
again, this is just like Favreau playing with the toys and being like, "What does the inside of an AT-AT look like?"
Yeah, it's gonna be like finally, I have everything at my disposal. So yeah, that was great.
I really can't wait until we start. Again, I was very skeptical for this movie, but that footage just like, okay, I get it. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here for the adventure.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was basically the biggest news of the Mandalorian and Grogu panel. But the big thing was the reveal of Star Wars Starfighter. Any too early predictions of what that movie might be about? Knowing that it takes place 5 to 6 years after Rise of Skywalker, it's called the Starfighter, but basically a lot of brand new stuff we've never seen.
Yep. Predictions on what the movie's about? I have no idea. I have no. Oh, I think it's gonna be a pilot story. Like if it's Starfighter, I want to see how the Force is connected to this because Sean Levi talked about like everything you want out of a Star Wars movie we're gonna get. Maybe I'm just looking into it too much, and it's just like leaning into the original trilogy aspect of it all. But in Alex in Star Wars Explained said this is probably Top Gun in space, and if it's that, cool. I'm here. I love a good pilot story. If we're not getting Jedi, pilots is like my second favorite thing.
I know I've been hammering here that I wanted a Starfighter Racer TV show. This isn't it. I don't want to say wish, but then I put an expectation. I'll be happy if it is something similar to the Alphabet Squadron trilogy, when you have a group of New Republic fighters as squadron pilots going against some new First Order pilots that are still around, and you have that rivalry between both squads. I think it'll be interesting to see on the screen, and we haven't really seen that for Star Wars before.
Michael is saying it's gonna be a remake of The Last Starfighter. Hey, if it's that, cool.
Yeah.
And do right again. I want to see Ryan Gosling in this. Like, what Ryan Gosling? Are we getting Drive Ryan Gosling? Are we getting Ken?
Yeah.
Did you see the I'm Just Kenner?
No, I've seen that one. I'm expecting that we're gonna get a lot of information about this movie and really early in the process compared to other Star Wars movies. Sean Levi doesn't seem like the person that wants to hold things back. And I understand he's under the Lucasfilm umbrella at this point. I think we won't have to wait till late 2026 to start seeing images or something. I think we're getting things early next year. I think we'll start seeing something.
Hopefully. By the way, and I wanted this details. Sweet details. Like dates on when. Like it wasn't just the title and the release date. No, like having him come out and be like, we're not in development, we're in pre-production, we're shooting in the fall. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sean.
I love that he made that point to say it's not pre-production, it's not in development. I mean, it's not in development. We're in pre-production. We're shooting in the fall. This comes out in May 27th, 50th anniversary. Like everything's there. If it get pushed a week back or a week forward, that's fine. But we have an idea what's coming.
I'm still fingers crossed on movies going back to December. Really, really fingers crossed on that. Bug is saying he hopes we get his character from Blade Runner. Just put him playing the same character. Yeah, I kind of agree. Just bring in K. Screw it.
Yeah.
Having be a mumbling idiot detective, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great movie. I rewatched it, I told you, a couple of months ago.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Right, so after that, we got the Lights and Magic, the Lucasfilm.
Love that panel.
Not Lucasfilm, the
ILM.
Thank you. ILM season 2 panel was pretty good also. I love when Ahmed Best talked about how he helped with the fight sequence between Yoda and Grogu and Dooku. That was great. That was something
No, go.
No, something I never heard. I didn't know that this was a thing. No rumors. Brand new information confirmed by the other guy. Like, yeah, this is exactly what happened. So I love getting that. I love also when they show George Lucas bring out a whiteboard with the whole movie just planned out in previews, and then just with markers. Well, this is real. This is CGI. This is digital. And everyone with, how are we going to do this? I can't wait to go see the documentary later.
That's probably like the definitive George Lucas moment ever. Like, but again, as you mentioned, like seeing everyone be like, "What is this guy doing?"
Yeah.
And to that point with the Yoda fight in Attack of the Clones, that was just so fascinating to like hear them talk about that. Rob Coleman, I missed the name in my show. Him talking about George giving him the script and having just like I don't remember the exact phrase, but it was like a fight that pales description or something like that ensues, and that's it. That's all you get. And him being like, George, what do you mean by that? And George being like, figure it out.
And that's him, I guess. I think Ahmed Best said something similar, and a couple of people said, you'll figure it out.
No, and Ahmed being like following Rob Coleman and being like, hey, have you figured it out? And he's like, no, and then him mustering the courage to be like, come to my trailer. I have some ideas. And him like telling the story of being at the premiere because he never found out what they did, and then being like, hey, what was my idea?
As soon as I showed that working. But also from Rob Coleman, was it? Taking Ahmed based on his suggestion. A lot of people, that's fine, I'll deal with it, or this is my job, you're an actor. You're like, all right, let me see. I need all the help I can get. Let me see what you got. And then figure it out together.
That's basically how ILM has always worked. Like George Lucas comes up with this crazy thing that it's so out there that they have to be like, you, Ahmed Best, like secondary character, have an idea? Sure, let's hear it out. Because like, we need to take everything in to see how we make it work. And also like this season being all about Lucasfilm, ILM moving into the digital age and how Pirates of the Caribbean was huge at that. I don't know if you heard that phrase, like it all starts with Steven Spielberg walking into ILM being like, I need you to make digital tornadoes for twisters. And yeah, dude, ILM like has done so many things, not just Star Wars. But,
and this is all the story. Everyone that follows Lucasfilm, George Lucas knows. But watching that first season is how much stuff they had to invent themselves to be able to get to George Lucas' vision, and then to all the other movies they've done afterwards. So, and 20 years later, it's still happening. When the prequels came around and the digital age is still there. So yeah, I can't wait to see that. I think it dropped last night.
Yeah,
also,
I think it's just like 4 or 5 episodes.
All right, so I'll watch at some point after I recover some sleep after this weekend, which I don't know when that will be. And then the big publishing panel. There was a manga panel. haven't followed any of the manga, so I don't have any news about those unless you have and you want to
They
talk about
announced a
it.
new Knight of Ren. I'm not super aware of all the details. But they announced a
Tava
new-
Ren, I think it's called, or Kava Ren. Great design.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised that there's a new Knights of Ren now that looks better than the other.
Hey,
Knights
but
of Ren.
cool, because we know Snoke had other apprentices, and that's like a lingering question. Where were they? What were they doing? Are they coming back in Starfighter? Hopefully.
Well, he looks great. The cover.
I think it's she.
She?
I think.
Well, the character
great,
looks great. Be careful. We gotta be careful here. We don't want to get in trouble. But a big publishing panel with, I don't have the name of all the authors, but there were a bunch of them. And a friend of the show, Maggie Lovett, hosted the panel.
He is a she, and she is a changeling.
Yeah. She's a changeling. Maggie Lovett, which I'm gonna try to get here for Andor recaps, and of course talk about. Sorry,
she's too big for us.
She's our friend, so hopefully we get lucky. I just want to know what that experience was like of getting that call. Hey, you want to host a panel in Celebration? Sure. Want to host a publishing panel, knowing that she's a huge fan of all the books.
I mean, dude, she posted about it, like talking about the first book and then doing this. But dude, for me, I met Maggie like I think it was like days before the High Republic had started.
Yeah.
And she came on my show. We talked about Rogue One, and I remember at the end I told her like I'm waiting for my copy to ship. This was during the pandemic, and she talked to me a little bit about the book and what she thought about it, and then watching the panel for the conclusion of the High Republic, and she's moderating it. I was like, what's happening? Like,
yeah, I'm so happy.
It was very, very exciting to see. I'm so bummed out that's when I fell asleep. Again, nothing to do with the panel. I had almost spent 24 hours awake, and I just couldn't handle it anymore.
All right, so great panel. It started, even though we didn't have an official panel for the 20-year anniversary of Revenge of the Sith or 10-year for The Force Awakens, they did talk a little bit about all the authors kind of reminiscing of where they were when they first saw those movies and what emotions they got, what
was cool.
Favorite events, or what reminds them when they think about The Force Awakens and favorite parts of Revenge of the Sith. So even though it wasn't an official panel, it was cool to get 10-15 minutes of people talking about those great movies. And then, of course, Revenge of the Sith coming out again in the theaters in a couple of weeks. So some of the reviews, there's an ILM book coming to commemorate 50 years of innovation.
I'm actually looking for it because I really wanted it, and it wasn't on Amazon last night.
Okay. It's going to be a big one. But anyway, for us, the big one, of course, the Luminous 9, Oti. Look at that thing. We have
so cool. And knowing that all of them are going to, like when I saw Buckets of Blood, Tyorik, I was like, they're all going to be in the same book, finally.
Yeah, so we got just there in that picture, from left to right, Aslin Rail, Bel Sedifar, Reed Silas, Torban, Bucket of Blood, Buck, Ava Chris, Elsar Man, Buriaga, Tyorik, and Terek. And I believe from the information we've gotten, these are the 9 that are going to Planet X, basically, I think, right? To try to figure out how to get the Nile or figure out what's happening. I think they're the 9 that head out there. Who's not coming back? Who's not coming back from this group? I'm going to say, I think Torban Bug is not coming back.
I think Aslin is dead.
Oh, yeah.
I
know it, man.
I don't know. Don't you in there.
All right.
You know what, Alberto? They all come back. This one time, everybody lives.
All right, Doctor Who. All right, the Doctor. Everyone lives. That's a great scene. They're not all coming back. I'm sorry. This isn't that episode. I think Buriaga is safe. I know of one that is safe because of something else.
I mean, do you know anything? Does the book hint at anything?
So one of these characters is in the Wayseeker. Maybe I'm just spoiling something and I'm gonna get in trouble.
No, you won't.
No. But one of these characters is in the Wayseeker. You'll see tomorrow. I don't have to get any more. So I know that character is fine. The others, I think Torban Buck is not coming. I think Buriaga, they're not gonna kill another Wookiee.
If they kill Buriaga, I'm gonna be very angry, like legit.
Yeah, and then Elzar and Avar, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully, I think one is not coming. I think I don't even want to think about it.
I think they're both coming.
Okay, you think all 9 are coming, and I hope you're right. I can't go through all this. I mean, I don't care about Aslin Rail. Really, he can kick the bucket.
You didn't
Tarek,
get it, someone got it. Someone got it. That's all I'll say.
All right. So yeah, that's coming out in about 2 months, I think, and then the High Republic is over. So yeah,
5 years later.
5 years, man. Can't believe it. The Art of Andor looks great. That's something I didn't know. That was a big surprise. And of course, we got one for the Acolyte also. But this Andor one was a big surprise.
By the way, we didn't even mention this. Not only Maggie, Lydia Kang was there. Tessa Gratton was there.
Dude, I was in a state in one point looking at the panel. I said, and again, we're a small show here, right?
Dude,
and
three of those people have been here.
We have 3 of those people here. We have 2 Star Wars authors who are now on a panel talking about future books and everything they've gone through. Being here, having a great conversation, and now they're out there like, I know them. I'm happy.
When I realized Lydia Kang was there, I got so excited. I think that's still like my favorite podcast episode I've ever done. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks to Lydia Kang. Thanks to
me for reading that book in one sitting that day.
One day, dude. I don't know how you did it. That's why I keep harking on you why you can't finish a book in 2 months when you do it in one day. But that was something that I didn't know. It's our first time talking to a Star Wars author. I thought it was going to be, we asked a question, yes, no, maybe. It will be a 10-minute interview. And we had to stop it short because we went over an hour. And then we kept talking with her for another 10 minutes. So it's just surreal. And to see her there, which again, we just knew her for that 1 hour. I was so happy. And she's a great author, a great person. I'm so happy to see her.
I love that book. I did not love Phase 2, but I love that book. By the way, another book that's not a Lucasfilm book, but I saw it was posted and I had to buy it. Let me see if it shows. Scotty Gyro wrote a book.
Oh, yeah.
Related to his presentation. I bought it. Like I really want to like get into it and see what he wrote about. I thought it was so like why.
I'll be honest, and I haven't watched his YouTube video about it. I gotta make time to watch.
I mean, I haven't seen it like completely. I've seen like it's like 2 hours long. Like I think I've seen like bits and I definitely saw bits and pieces of it. But like he posted that he had written a book. I was like, I'm definitely getting it. So it's on Amazon.
But it's another one of those things that one of us basically to say is there. And we've had friends of ours being in panels over the Star Wars Celebration. He's doing something that he did by himself. Took all the time, did all the research. Now it's presenting at Celebration as a book to sell. I mean, props to him and congratulations to Scotty Jarrow with all his success right now.
Yep.
And then, of course, we'll finish off the publishing panel talking about Master of Evil from Adam Christopher, which blew our mind with Shadows of the Sith. He's coming back with a Darth Vader story, which I know. Oh, Darth Vader! What else is new? But apparently there is something. Shortly after the events of Revenge of the Sith, explores some of the promises that Palpatine made to Vader throughout the whole Star Wars saga. He said that it's Rollicking Dark, comes out in November. Nobody knows who Vader is at this point, just that he can report to the Emperor. And it's tied somewhat to the Child Soul Darth Vader arc.
Makes sense.
Some gaps in that book. Like I said, there's parts that Vader's not there in terms of time period, and that's where the book kind of works around it. I mean, I've only read one Adam Christopher book, and it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And just seeing the cover and him talking about it, it's one of my most exciting ones for the rest of this year. I'm really looking forward to that one.
I'll be honest, like, for me, it's like, okay, another Vader story in this timeline. Hey, sure.
Yeah.
I'm only excited because of it's him and what he did with Shadow of the Sith. When I saw the title, I was like, "Oh, perfect! The Shadow of the Sith sequel."
Yeah.
It's not that. I'm sure it'll have its connections to that story in some way, shape, or form. But he has enough goodwill with me for me to be interested. But
Yeah.
like that's my truth. Like I really thought like, okay, another Vader story. Great.
I have had something similar for one of the topics we'll cover in a second. But I'm right there in terms of Adam Christopher. Like, he's in my good graces. I said when that book came out, it did for the dark side what Light of the Jedi did for the light side. For me, in terms kind of switching my mindset a little bit of what it means to be on the dark side or the light side for the other book. So I can't wait to see his interpretation of Vader in this time period. I just listened last month to the James Lucino one, the Rise and Fall of Darth Vader, which is in this time period also. Like, nobody knows who Vader is. He just reports to the Emperor. He set out on a mission where there were no Inquisitors. He was hunting Jedi.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how this parallels to that one. But when he says, "Oh, it's tied a little bit to the Charles Soule book," and then I think about Momin, this weird Sith out there, knowing what he did in Shadows of the Sith with Kisa and all the other dark side users, like, he's the perfect guy to work around the dark side in this time period. So I'm really excited for it.
By the way, Buck is saying that he got Scotty's book in Kindle version, so he'll start reading it this weekend and hopes to get the physical one signed at some point. Cool. Tell us what you think about the book if you start reading it. And Michael is leaving. He said, "Have a good night." Have a good night.
Well, Michael, thanks for joining us. Go follow his show over there.
Yep.
All right, so let's jump now. I think that was it for the publishing panel. This was one of those panels, like you mentioned at the beginning, that after 20 minutes, I think it was, after the panel started, we got to see it on the live stream, kind of a 20-minute delay.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things I have already kind of seen on Blue Sky, but it's always cool to see it in person and see people talking about it instead of just someone tweeting it out. All right, and then the last big panel was the animation panel. And for people out there, they got to saw an episode of Tales of the Underworld. I believe it was one of the Ventress one. I saw a post of someone saying this explains how Ventress is back, how she survived, or how she's alive. So I know some people didn't want to know, just keep it a mystery, but
then don't watch it.
We'll see what happened to Ventress. I like this type of shows, the Tales of. I'm not the biggest fans of the ones we've gotten. Like, I've enjoyed them. But again, it's something to say, not to say, "Oh, this sucks. Why is Star Wars wasting their time?" Hey, it's more Star Wars. Let's watch it. It's 10-minute episodes. What's not to like?
Yeah.
But the big surprise was the new show that's coming out, and it's Maul Shadow Lord, building his crime empire after the Clone Wars. Is this ties to Crimson Dawn? Will Kira be there? He's training an apprentice. It's a Twi'lek apprentice. Redskin. People are saying that this is going to be Darth Talon. Marok is there. Comes out in 2026, not this year. Your initial thoughts about a new animated series starring Darth Maul, Oti? Or you want me to go first?
No, I'll go first.
All right.
I can go first if you want.
No, I'll go. That's fine. I already kind of put that lead out there. I was a little bit underwhelmed. I'll be honest. This is something we talked about. And I'll talk about myself. I'm not gonna put you on the spot there. I wanted something new. Similar to, there's even the new Kylo Ren comic is called Shadow of Vader or something like that. There's too many Darth Vader. Why are we coming back to Darth Maul? Like, he came back in the Clone Wars. He was there in Rebels. We got him in Solo. Like, we've gotten enough with Darth Maul. We know a lot of his story. I can't remember everything in the Clone Wars. If we know how he built up his crime empire, I don't remember it.
No.
This wasn't I'm not pumped for it. When, Darth Maul, I wasn't like, yes, finally, here we go. I was, really? I wanted new characters or a new time period, even if that cheese. So let's give us something new. This is where I wanted to be surprised. I had my mind blown, and I wasn't. But similar that I just said about the Tales of series, I'm not gonna complain about a new Star Wars animation. Look, I have my Bad Batch shirt on. It'll come out, I'll blow my mind. I'll be like, okay, I'll shut up. And that's usually what happens with Star Wars animation. By the end, we'll end up loving it. So right now, I was a little bit underwhelmed. I saw a potato camera for the trailer. It looked pretty sick. So no, I gotta shut up a little bit. It looked pretty awesome. I just wish they push the boundary a little more for these type of shows. Give us something new. Stop kind of falling back on things that we already know and love. Let's move forward. We already got Ventress, we got Cat Bane, characters that we already know, and now a Maul series. Apart from the new movie, the Starfighter, everything is characters that we already know. It's not expanding a lot. So that's the only thing that I was a little bit bummed about. But come 2026, I'll sit down, watch the first episode, and we'll be here and say, I told you this is the greatest show ever. I'll be fine.
Okay. I had a very similar reaction to yours. I learned about it this morning when I talked to Tony. He sent me the announcement. I'm gonna tread lightly here. I am completely open, same as you, for this show to blow me away, just like the Bad Batch. I had a very similar reaction to when the Bad Batch was announced. It was something that I was like, okay, I guess it makes sense, but again, that stupid reaction of who asked for this.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people asked for a Maul show, so I'm not gonna say that I didn't ask for it. So whatever, I'm not the only person in the world. I'm not the only person in this fandom. So cool. I've been very satisfied with most of the things they've done. I just have an issue with someone who Buck is talking about in the chat.
I haven't looked at it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no. So Buck is saying more Sam Witwer is always good for me. Sam Witwer is a guy who I have so many issues with.
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of another creator who I think is very talented. Sam Witwer is someone that whenever I learn he's in a Star Wars thing, I'm excited to see his performance. I just don't like him. I don't know him. This is just me with my relationship with him through the computer screen. Yeah. He is someone I do not know. So again, completely based on what I see of him in the internet. But he reminds me of Zack Snyder in a way.
Okay.
He's someone I'm excited to see work. I think they're very talented. I just don't like the people they like to cater to or the people they like to amplify. And that's just all I'll say. I think they have a very particular vision of the stories they like. And I think they cling to certain people who share that vision in a way looking for validation. I don't know him. I don't know. But I don't know. I just don't love him. That's all I'll say. And I'll watch the show day one, and I'll be super honest on my thoughts. If I love it, I'll say it. If I don't love it, I won't say it. That's how I usually operate. So that's all I'll say.
So yeah, guys, you heard it here first. Oti hates Sam Witwer. He said it. It's out there. This will be that clip that they clip out this part. No, I agree. There's sometimes, and maybe it's just the way people edit things. I'm scrolling through YouTube and there'll be a video and the title is Sam Witwer destroys Lucasfilm or and I get it that he knows a lot about Star Wars, but it's his vision about it might not mesh with my vision of it. And just because it's been in Star Wars, and I say this about everyone, just because someone has been in Star Wars for 20 years doesn't mean they know more about the creators behind it or what's good or what's bad. So I understand where you're coming from. I liked his performance in the ILM panel. I was a little bit shocked when he came out like, okay, let's see how this goes. So I'm okay with the guy. I kind of neutral, but I understand what you're saying. Sometimes it comes across as a lot of people that love him. I get Bug great. You're one of our favorites. A lot of people that kind of mesh with him have a different version of what Star Wars should be. So I understand where you're coming from, Bug.
And by the way, it's not having a vision of what Star Wars should be. It's believing so hard on it that any other vision, yeah, I saw it. Thinking that any other vision is wrong,
Yeah,
and that because you know about Star Wars in the way that you have to be in the right. And again, I don't know him. I don't know if that's just the perception I get through seeing him online. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, he did the ILM panel. I don't think I could have done a better job. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, he did better, I think, when he went off script than just reading. And a lot of people just reading the cue cards were a little bit lost. But once they went off script, I think they did a lot better, including him. So
you're entitled to your opinion.
I mean, we all are. That's why you're here. It's the only reason we keep you.
And by the way, this whole thing that he has supposedly he almost Kathleen Kennedy, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a hostile relationship with Lucasfilm because they've kept him around for a while.
And he cashes the check that she signed, so I think they're fine.
Yeah, and I don't think he hates anyone.
It's something going back to, and this goes back to, I can't remember where it came from a couple of weeks ago, who posted it, but I replied back saying the way fans create this animosity between people and between fandoms, like the DC versus Marvel, the Star Wars versus Star Trek, it was something else. But I believe it was Filoni, one of those interviews that came out and talked in depth about it doesn't matter. Like, I don't have favorites in Star Wars. Like, he loves all the creators and all the different shows, and this is one big family. Like, and you said it before, this is like a restaurant. You like this dish, you don't like the other. Like, it's a big menu. We can all eat from the same thing. We don't need to kind of share the same plate, right? We can all decide what we like. It can be a little bit different. So I love that Filoni came in and said that, and then it goes back to everything else and having your own opinion.
And with that whole fight, like, that's something like comic book fans have been used to, and like creators have always been waving that flag. Like, Marvel and DC creators have lunch together every day. Like, they are friends. Like,
I think it was
fans fighting.
Yeah, it was Zack Snyder versus the new Superman guy.
Oh, James Gunn. Oh,
James Gunn.
And Zack Snyder is someone who I will admit I don't think has stoked that. Sometimes he does, but like, at least he's a cool guy. Like, and he'll take these pictures and he'll champion positivity here and there with the wrong people, I guess, sometimes. But like, so that's why I don't completely discard these people. I just think they sometimes don't do great stuff.
All right, so that does it for day one of Star Wars Celebration.
By the way, the guy who's making the other one, James Gunn, DC CEO, like, come on,
screw
man.
DC. That's why I'm a Marvel guy. I don't care about DC. I just blank. You know me. I blank about names every time we're here.
All the time.
Oh, that guy. But yeah, day 2 celebration starts in about an hour. So let's get ready for it.
No, it's 8. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I haven't eaten. Okay.
So go eat something. Yeah. Get more caffeine in you. I don't think I'll last till 4 in the morning today, but we'll see.
I woke up like 4 hours ago.
I thought I had 3 hours of sleep, took a 25-minute nap, and that's it. So I'm running on fumes.
Before we go, quick question. Doctor Who, yay, nay?
Yay. I liked it. It's Doctor Who. It's great. It doesn't matter if it's great. It might be dumb. It's still great. I really enjoyed it. I like the dynamic between the doctor and the nurse. Belinda Chandra fan.
Miss Belinda Chandra.
Miss Belinda Chandra. It was a different twist because I thought it was going to be this companion that just, I hate this, take me home. And yes, but he's trying to get her back. He just can't. So I think so. I really, even if it's a fake out, I enjoyed that twist for this season, I forget what the name that they call it, this time rift or whatever, is not letting them go back. And then when the robots went back, they went further back. But I didn't catch 100% of it, but it's Doctor Who. Yeah,
some
okay.
Christopher Nolan things going on. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I love Tenet. I can't explain it, but I love it. So I like that. Okay, I know where the season is going in terms. This is the big mystery. So I like that going forward. I like that relationship between them two. And I love the design for Al, the AI generator. I love the design of
That
that
was
robot.
so weird.
It was kind of creepy.
No, I really liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I think
New
I
episode
like that.
tomorrow.
I like that ending of him being like the doctor pitch. Like, I could take you home,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
we could do all these things and take you back to the exact same clone, even though it never works.
Yeah.
And Belinda being like, "Nope,
Yeah.
take me home right now."
Yeah. So, and we got Mrs. Flood at the end.
Wait a second, Buck.
Is this Buck?
Buck.
Oh, we're fighting now.
I'm not loving this Doctor Who series, bro. It's been one episode. Come on.
I'm guessing he's talking about season
improvement.
1 also. But
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah,
whatever. I love you, Buck. I love you, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, we miss when Buck is here because you guys always get into it at some point.
Yeah, but I'm excited for the next episode.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for this.
Tomorrow, new episode tomorrow. So,
yep.
And Last of Us came out, great episode also on Sunday.
So excited for this.
And then Andor comes out in 4 days. There's no time for anything.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to finish Daredevil. Whatever. Star Wars.
Star Wars. Last episode was a good one.
I have not seen it.
All right, so that makes it for our episode today. Thanks to everyone that was here. Buck, Brennan. Let me get everyone right. I know we got a new person that came in. Michael. And who was here at the beginning, Benji. Thanks for being here. Hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow for our next episode. Thanks to everyone that joined us. Make sure you like this video, everything else. Enjoy Star Wars Celebration. Before we go, let me take this move. Stay safe, be safe, and remember,
Latino power.
Latino power. See you tomorrow. Take it.